I'm Beth. I'm one of the keepers here at Zoo, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about some of our parrots in this aviary. Here at the zoo, we've got a couple of African grey parrots in this enclosure, such as Rio. Rio was a well looked after pet of someone who unfortunately passed away, so she came to live here as she could no longer be cared for by the family. African grey parrots are native to Central Africa, where they mostly live in dense forest areas in small groups of up to 30 individuals, but often sleep together in much larger groups up in the trees. The average lifespan for these guys in the wild is around 20 years, but is much longer in captivity at around 60 years. They eat mostly fruit, nuts, and seeds, but have even been seen occasionally eating insects and snails. African greys are unfortunately listed as endangered in the wild at the moment, mainly due to the wildlife trade, which they are taken for to be pets, medicines, and food. They are also currently one of the most popular avian species kept as a pet at the moment, most likely due to their amazing ability to be able to mimic human speech. And our African greys here can be quite talkative when they want to be, are also a little shy and very good at hiding. Also in this enclosure we have got an Australian king parrot, which is a species that you usually find in the humid forests of eastern Australia. They usually live in small groups and are often seen living with other parrot species such as rosellas. Our king parrot here is a female, which you can tell from the coloration of her head. So female king parrots normally have a green head, whereas a male would have a bright red coloured head. Unfortunately, our king parrot here does have a slightly malformed beak due to how she was cared for at her previous home, but that doesn't stop her from enjoying her food and giving the occasional nip to her keepers as well. The king parrot's usual diet is fruits and seeds, which she enjoys plenty of here, and they are generally quiet species of parrot, which makes a nice change and are very popular pets again. Millie and Molly are another species that we have got in this enclosure, and they are our blue-fronted Amazons. They get their name from the small blue spot on the front of their heads, and you get lots of different types of Amazons that all have slightly different markings. These are a species of Amazon parrot usually found in forests of South America, however ironically avoid the Amazon forest as it's far too humid for them. There is also a very small breeding population of these guys in Germany, though they're not actually supposed to be there. In the wild, they forage on different fruits, berries, blossoms, seeds, and nuts, which is replicated here for them at the zoo. In captivity, they can live for over 40 years and are again a very popular pet around the world, though populations are now declining out in the wild due to how heavily traded these guys have become. Apollo is a very talkative species of cockatoo that we've also got living in this enclosure, and he is a little Karela cockatoo. You normally find this species in Australia and southern New Guinea, and they are a relatively small species of cockatoo that lives in flocks of up to thousands in the wild, which often includes other species such as sulphur-crested cockatoos and galah cockatoos. They typically feed on seeds and grasses on the ground and often invade farmers' fields and destroy crops, leading them to being viewed as complete pests out in Australia. This species is very well known to be a very playful species, with wild individuals being observed playing on windmills. They actually sit on the blades and will spin round on the windmills. Now, Apollo is no exception to that and will happily sing and dance with the customers, and he should hopefully live till about 70 years in captivity. Thank you for listening to my talk. Please ask our keepers if you have any questions.